YouTube, what's up, baby? We back in this thing again for another review. This is Q's Insight. I am Callie, and today we're going to be talking about Halo Episode 9, entitled Transcendence. Alright, so this is it. Season 1 of Halo's over. You know what I'm saying? This is Episode 9, entitled Transcendence. So, you already know how we do this if you've been to this channel before. Started off with the premise, 3 favorite scenes, the grade, and then we on to the next one, right? So, anyways, again, Halo, Season 1, Episode 9, entitled Transcendence. So in this one, you got Master Chief waking up from the blast that was created when Maki interacted with the artifact, and you know, she saved him. You feel me? She saved him without knowing that he needed to be saved. She saved him. Anyways, when Make, gets done with interacting with artifact, she ends up taking the artifact and she ends up leaving. And we're guessing that she's going off planet. She's most likely going to the Covenant planet. Then we have a scene where Master Chief ends up telling the other Spartans about Halsey and how she kidnapped them and how, they're being used by her and everything like that. And at first they don't believe it, but Captain Jacobs ends up backing up Master Chief and tells him, like, hey, like, no, he's telling the truth, and, I was even a part of this, and if anybody needs to be, you should be going after anybody, it should be me. All of the Spartans know the truth, whether they've taken out the back pellet or not. All the Spartans now know the truth. So, that's that. Master Chief, Riz, and Vanek, they end up going after Make, like trying to go after the ship that she's taken off in before she leaves off to go to the Covenant planet. And then Kai, she ends up going after Halsey because Halsey's trying to escape too as well, So Kai's going after Halsey. Kai catches up with Halsey, and there's a little bit of a scuffle that happens. The ship that Halsey's on gets damaged and can no longer fly, so it's starting to crash. And we see that Halsey ends up escaping in an escape pod. From there, we see the Spartans and they regroup. Master Chief and the Spartans end up, not catching Make before she leaves off planet with the artifact. So they are now headed to where they would think that the Covenant planet is. And, so it's going to be Viz, Kai, Riz, Kai, Vanek, and Master Chief. Before they leave, Captain Jacobs ends up telling Master Chief that they are following Halsey, and the UNSC will quickly catch her, once she lands. And then we see Make has made her way to the Covenant planet. She's talking with the Covenant. She gave them the artifacts, and everything seems to be good. You know what I'm saying? She's thinking that, once they activate the Halo, she'll be able to go with them and just, live in peace, I guess you'd say. Um, so from there, we see that the Spartans have made their way to the Covenant planet and are actually about to land. Um, Miranda does get caught by the UNSC. I'm sorry, Halsey does get caught by the UNSC, and Miranda, her daughter, goes to go visit her. Um, and then we find out that the Covenant plans to kill Make after activating Halo, so she's actually playing into her own death without even realizing it. So it's a sucky situation for her. She does everything she can for the aliens and the Covenant, and at the end of the day, they're just using her as a tool to get what they want. And then after they get what they want, they're gonna offer. So sucks for her, man. She could have definitely been happy with Master Chief. You know what I'm saying? So when Master Chief and the rest of the Spartans land on the planet, they end up having to take out some of the Covenant watch, you know what I'm saying? The units that are like watching the areas, making sure that nobody's infiltrating, you know what I'm saying, the unit. So, they end up taking out some of the Covenant aliens. And then they hid inside to where the artifact is being held, and where the higher up aliens are. Um, so then after that, we see that Halsey tricks the UNSC. this girl, bro, this girl. So of course she had clones before, and so what she did was she switched the clone in with her, and this clone ended up having like I don't know, like some type of aneurysm or something like that. Almost seemed like it, and Miranda caught on to the fact that the nose was bleeding on Halsey, and she's like, she remembered that she said that like the problem with these clones, like they'll bleed from the nose and they don't work all the way or something like that. So Miranda's like, oh my god, like this is not even Halsey, it's not even my mom, like she tricked us, this is the clone version. So she's trying to let everybody know that this ain't even the real Halsey, and then now she's trying to find out where Halsey is. um So then we go to Master Chief and the Spartans, and they're continuing to clear out the Covenant. Uh, Master Chief ends up getting beat up pretty badly by the warrior that he fought last time on the last episode without the helmet. Um, and Make sees him like being hurt and everything like that, so she ends up helping him out. And what she does is she touches the artifact, and it blasts everybody away again. And but the thing about it this time is that her interacting with that artifact, it actually shows where Halo is located. So now the higher up aliens know where Halo is located. Um, Chief and Make, they end up linking up in a vision. That like, I guess you can say, yeah, the vision that happens once they touch the artifact. They end up linking up in that vision, and they're talking. And Chief is like, you got to come back with me. She's like, I'm not going back. I'm staying here, whatever it may be. And we go back to like, outside of that vision, outside of that little dimension that they both are in. And we see that the Spartans are getting hammered, and they need Chief's help. They need him to wake back up. And so what happens is Kai ends up shooting Make, I don't know if it was like a lethal shot, but I think it was because you see her later on and she just like laid out with her eyes open. You know what I'm saying? So maybe she's dead, maybe not. We'll have to see. But either way, this makes Make not interact with the artifact anymore, which brings down the vision that Chief was seeing with her, and now he's back to real life, seeing how the Spartans are really getting overran right now, and they need his help. Um, so Chief makes a decision, and he lets Cortana. Well, he kind of forces her to take over his body because she's like, "I won't do it. I won't do it." He's like, "Well, you're gonna do it, girls, because that's the only way we're gonna survive." And he just like walks out and gets shot up and everything like that. And then, right before he would die, Cortana takes over his body, and then, she ends up fighting off the rest of the Covenant, and then calls in the ship, and then she takes the artifact with her onto the ship. The rest of the Spartans are with her as well. Her body is left on the Covenant planet, so I'm thinking that she's dead. And that's it for that scene. Once they get on the ship, they just take off or whatever. And then we see Halsey again, and I don't know if she's on the same planet that, I don't know if she's on planet Reach or whatever. I don't know where she is, but she's obviously escaped and safe where she's at. She's not going to get caught. And then we know that Chief is not Chief. He's Cortana now. And I don't know if that's going to be forever, but, he's definitely still Cortana because Kai ends up she's like, Chief. And she's like, are you there? And he just looks at her, and then that's it. So we know Cortana is still in control of his body. Like I said, I don't know if it'll be next season. I don't know if there will even be a next season. Because of the way that this show was, it just wasn't really accepted. A lot of people hate this show, but I like the show. But if we do get a season 2, hopefully we'll see Chief, regain his consciousness, and he can be Chief again, rather than Cortana just using his body per se, because that would suck. But that was it. That was it for this episode. 3 of my favorite scenes would be Kai chasing Halsey's ship as Halsey's trying to escape. Kai's like, nah, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you about to pay for this, bro. She just just runs super fast, jumps on the ship, shoots her way into the ship, bro. I was like, Kai is she's dope, bro. She's dope, man. But that was a crazy scene. Another one of my favorite scenes would be the first person shooting. So when the Spartans are going against the Covenant aliens, you see them in the third person way, you know what I'm saying? But then you also see it take over in a first person way, and it really looks like the game, bro. Like, I was like, yo, this is where it's at right here. Like, this is dope. It really made me want to cut on Halo Infinite and start playing that, bro. Like, but yeah, bro, like, that was a dope scene. It really did look reminiscent to the game. And then my last favorite scene would be after Cortana has taken over Master Chief's body, and she just lays waste to a lot of the Covenant, you know what I'm saying, without no hassle, bro. It just, like, the Spartans don't really have a hassle when they're fighting against the aliens, you know what I'm saying. They're just straightforward to it and everything like that. But with her controlling that body, bro, she was like, it just was like on a whole nother level, man. It was crazy to see. I'm sad that Master Chief is gone per se, but he'll probably be back if we get to a season 2 of this. But yeah, it was dope seeing Cortana take over the body and just lay waste to the Covenant, man. That was dope. So those would be 3 of my favorite scenes. To me, I'm gonna give this episode an 8 out of 10. So definitely above average. And I would suggest you watch it if you've watched this season already. why not finish it? For me, for the whole season, the complete season, I'm gonna give this I'm gonna give this a 7 out of 10. All right, so 7 out of 10 for the whole complete season. Um, I think it's definitely watchable, especially if you like Halo, if you're a Halo fan. You know what I'm saying? If you like action, you like aliens. I would think that this is worth watching. I know that they didn't win a lot of people over with this season, and just the story that they had for this season, they didn't win a lot of people over. So this may be it. This may be the only season we get, but I still think that it's worth watching, for sure. I had a good time. Um, Pretty much every episode was above average, if I'm not mistaken. So, to me, so yeah, man, I think that you should. I think people should watch this. You know what I'm saying? Get a view. Get your own view of this Halo season 1, and you make the decision. Don't let everybody else make the decision for you. You know what I'm saying? Because what other people may not like, you may like. What other people, um, like, you may not like. So you kind of gotta fill it out and get your own, come to your own conclusion. But like I said, for me, I thought this was watchable. 7 out of 10 for the whole season, um, and 8 out of 10 for this episode, the last episode, the season finale, Transcendence. But yeah, man, I had a good time with this, man. If you guys like this show this season, let me know about it in the comments down below. What were some of your favorite episodes? Would you be willing to watch a season 2? If there is a season 2, would you want them to kind of just keep things how they are, or would you want them to drastically change the way that the storyline is being drawn out? Let me know about that in the comments down below. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. As always, this is Q's Insight. I am Callie. Until next time.